Co-authored the introduction and executive summary and offered suggestions everywhere else. Yay for John! And Steve came through with an amazing chapter on residential. And residential and renters account for over 80% of the greenhouse gases in Winchester. I'll repeat that, over 80%. Much of that is on transportation, which is using your car, and an amazing amount from air.
Hello? Is that working? That's right, I'll scream it! Anyway, Steve also helped the last hour in merging the entire document. This may seem like it's trivial to you, but to get a document like this together, looking cohesive, is really important. So Steve played a real big role in that. He's a great member of the committee. Yay, Steve! The other Steve represented the hospital.
Yay, it's working. The hospital here. Steve represented the hospital.
There was a small subcommittee of us who worked on a section we called the personal section, which has to do with how people can get motivated to save greenhouse gases, reduce greenhouse gases, and save energy. He was part of that group. The hospital also very generously funded the intern position for Sarah Callahan for the summer. So thanks to Steve and the hospital. Come on over, John.
John Millspaugh, wow, that's better, shared a seat with Don Remick. They're both ministers in town and made amazing contributions to a section we called the personal section. And how do people view their earth and their environment, how they get motivated for changing, and how does this affect future generations. So Don isn't here today, but he also did a fabulous job with John on writing this section and overall contribution to the whole book. So yay for John and Don. Nora worked exhaustively on the transportation section. And remember, it's the use of your cars and air travel which cause at least 25% of the entire emissions of the town. And Nora was able to collect that data, analyze it, and help us put it into the other chapters. She also was instrumental in a lot of the editing and getting this text terse and consistent, and also helped facilitate several meetings. So yay for Nora! Oh yes, and Sarah Levinson is not here today. And Sarah was the lead, along with our intern, also named Sarah, on the actual analysis for greenhouse gases. This is a very complicated thing to do. It's a new kind of science, and the two Sarahs took this on and actually came up with the gross emissions for the town of 218,000 tons of greenhouse gases per year. It's a huge number. I tried to find some interesting and amusing ways to illustrate that, but none of them really worked. It's a huge number. And Sarah also took on a very difficult task in assembling the appendix. So a lot of the text that we wanted to squeeze in, she said, no, let's pull it out and put it in the appendix. She's not here today, but a cheer for Sarah.
I just want to say for all of us that Woody did a fantastic job in facilitating, bringing us together, cheerleading, doing a tremendous amount of work on the municipal section himself, and just being a great leader.
Where's Susan McPhee? Come up here. Speaking of the municipal section, Susan McPhee is also our halftime town energy coordinator, for those of you who don't know her. She's doing a fabulous job, and she was my co-author on the municipal section, got it started, and then I took it from there with a lot of help from Nora and others. And we have a chart here on the easel, which we hope although the municipal sector is a fairly small portion of the overall greenhouse gases, we think the Energy Management Committee and Susan work are really showing great leadership. And over 4 years, we've reduced the energy usage of the town by 28%. That was a huge saving. How many? $2.3 million cumulatively for the town. And that's one of the points we want to make. Greenhouse gases are a little bit hard to visualize, but money isn't. And so for those of you who are in your homes or in your office buildings, you are always going to save money if you reduce your greenhouse gas emissions. It's one of the most important messages we can deliver to you today. So Tom, I also want to introduce Tom Howley and Forrest, who are our selectmen, 2 of the 6. Come on over here. Where are my copies of the report? Oh, there they are. Oh, yeah. One thing before I hand this off, I've been reminded, this is a draft plan. Although we worked hard, we had long hours of debate and many hours of writing. This is still a draft. So we have an 8-week comment period that we would invite everyone, homeowners, renters, commercial tenants, and building owners, and any of you who are involved with municipal buildings, including the selectmen and all the committees, to offer our comments. This will be on the front page of the Winchester, Town of Winchester website on Monday. And in the document and on the website is a email address that you can send your comments, even anonymously if you want. But we really want to engage the community. We are going to be meeting with committees and talking with the selectmen and other bodies within the town. Oh, and we also have a booth right over here next to the, that Susan set up that we're sharing, and please come on and talk with any of us after the presentation. So, I also want to say thanks to Pat in Town Hall, who is administrative assistant, who sat with me, when was that? Friday morning at 9:40. I was kneeling next to her monitor doing the last minute edits. And, oh yes, and I want to also call out the Sustainable Winchester folks, who in many ways were the precursor committee to this. They've been active for 3, 4, 5 years. And I want to acknowledge and have come up, please, Carolyn and Alan and Fred and Dave. Did I miss anyone? These people and others. Fred, where are you? Fred Yen. Come up here, Fred. That's an order. Fred, these 4 people and others from Sustainable Winchester have been working long before the Climate Action Committee. They were working on the data that we needed to quantify greenhouse gases. They were taking their own initiatives like this today, Environmental Fair, and many other activities in town to raise awareness and to have us all care a little bit more for the environment. So I want to make a special Tom and Forrest representing the selectmen, we now officially hand you your own copy of the Climate Action Plan. I also want to mention we printed it on 100% recycled paper. I was told that that's a little bit too costly for town, so they don't always buy it. So that's my first plug for reduced emissions for the town. Anyway, I want to hand this over to Tom and Forrest. And let me say lastly that it was the board, the selectmen, who also took the initiative to create our committee. We are an official committee designated by the selectmen, and collectively they voted and took the initiative to create the committee. So they have shown great leadership and great support for us during this long 9-month, 700-hour writing process. And so before I hand that over, I want to also say thank you to Tom and Forrest and the selectmen. And here you go, Tom, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. What a great thing, right, for us to all be gathered here. It's a little windy, but here we are in the center of our town, on the town common, under this beautiful tree, and right in the midst of the farmers market. And we're receiving from these wonderful citizens volunteers something that is in fact very, very important to us, important to the town immediately, and very much important to the town for, we think, for generations to come. And in fact, if you'll just bear with me for a moment, I'd like to read just a short section of the board's policy with regards to energy efficiency and environmental carbon reduction. And the board's policy says in part, on behalf of current and future generations of Winchester residents, our goal is to improve our quality of life by moving strategically towards sustainability. And there have been many efforts that have been going on. Woody's been very good about recognizing a number of people here who have been at this for a number of years. The town's own Energy Management Committee, which has been pointed out, you know, we are struggling year after year to find ways to become more efficient, to save money on behalf of the town. In 4 years, we've saved over $2 million as a result of their efforts. The Sustainable Winchester organization, which has provided great leadership for several years, particularly helping homeowners reduce their energy consumption. And there have been many others. The Farmers Market is a wonderful expression of the ideas which are at the heart of the Climate Action Plan. So I just want to say that there are many people who have been at this, and in many ways it really reflects, you know, we talk about renewable resources, but I think one of the town's very most precious renewable resources are our citizens. And Winchester is a town that really distinguishes itself through its citizen volunteers. And the people who are in the Climate Action Task Force, who have given, you heard, over 700 hours of their time. Not only that, people of considerable talent who have other things that they're involved with, like all of us. And this was something that was important to them. It was something in many ways only they could do. And they've applied themselves in a way that I think is actually, you know, stunning. When we first formed the committee, we set a very ambitious goal to try to have the plan in place before the end of October, and they've done that. And so now it's up to all of us to read it, to interact with it. The board will have a hearing on the plan, but before that, I'm hoping that there will be other opportunities for people to really consider it and offer your comments. And once the plan is then finalized, it'll be approved by the Board of Selectmen. It'll be our intention to then present it to the town meeting in the spring. And then we need to figure out how to sustain our own effort and to continue to monitor the items which are in the plan that'll help us achieve the targets that it's identified for us. So again, I want to thank everybody for all the work that you've done. It's a wonderful thing, and it's one of the reasons that it's so great to live in this town. So thanks, Woody.
Thank you, Tom. And again, a reminder that this is a draft. We want to engage everyone in the review of it and discussions about it. Give us your comments, disagree with us, suggest new elements if you like, but most importantly, at least read the introduction and executive summary. Thank you all very much for coming, and let's hear a cheer for the Climate Action Task Force. Great job, and go out and reduce your emissions. Thank you all.
Wonderful fall veggies. black Canadian squash. You want to know how to make that. She also has some delicious pumpkin muffins for you to try. Also at 11:30 we have a lecture across the street at the First Congregational Church. It's about low maintenance, low.
I'm rolling.